All right, so what we got here is basically my really first time here at this office. This is the office in Missouri. You guys are familiar with it, with CrossCountry Mortgage Company. So we go in, kind of talk about the market. So it's the first time here. Team has been adapting to this place the best they can. It's a big organization with a lot of capability. So it's different than what we're used to. And since that's the case, we're trying to make it the best we possibly can for you guys. I think we're going to have a lot more product ability. We're going to be doing non-QM, tons of that non-QM. We're going to be doing things like rehab loans for you that we can do the same as what you use a hard money lender for, but it's gonna be a lot cheaper. And we can do that. And it's a little bit more difficult kind of loan to do. So it's not like it's gonna be the simplest thing in the world, but we can set you up and get that going. We're gonna do the debt service coverage ratio. It's gonna be a big deal for you. Construction loans, a lot of stuff that's gonna give us the capability to service you a little bit better, but we're adapting to them. They're adapting to us. Seems like it's gonna be a really good switch for us. Security National is great to us, but we have to get more product for you, the real estate investor. So let's also talk about the market. Let me share with you where things are at right now. So that way, at least where things are heading. So now let's talk market. Looking at the last week, we had several things that was going to drive things one direction or the other. The first of it this week had to do with new home sales. They're actually up a bit from 685,000 to 695,000. At least that's what the forecast was. The actual prior reading was 674,000. So from 674,000 to 698, not bad. So people's confidence coming up a bit is what I would think. The change of the guard in Washington tends to get people think maybe some other things are going to happen. I mean, they thought so hard that when you start looking at how the media was grilling the press secretary, it's like, hey, it's been 5 days and groceries are still more expensive. That's how much people think that moves the market. It's kind of telling, right? So now we can see that in what's happened with home sales. Consumer confidence actually dropped a bit, which is really interesting, but that's also a previous reading. And we're looking at the Fed rate decision. That was the big one. They didn't drop the rate. So what happened? Interest rates actually improved a little bit, not a ton, but it's not like it was before when the Fed dropped the rate. We had this massive hit and spike in interest rates. So it kind of left it flat. I believe people thought that that's how it was going to work out, and that's why it landed the way it did. Continuing jobless claims, they actually dropped a tad. So people went from a reading of 1.9 million to 1.85. So it dropped a little bit. The initial claims dropped from 223,000. They're anticipating 225,000, but they were at 207,000. So that was a drop as well. So there is some improvement. We're waiting tomorrow for personal income, personal spending, personal consumption expenditures, which is the Fed's favorite way of reading inflation, and then the employment cost index. So we'll see how that plays out. Now let's look at the market itself, and you're going to hear tons of dings here because everybody wants to talk to me once I'm over here and getting things done. So as you can see here, we had a little bit of improvement. We've been climbing up, meaning things have been getting better. Now let's take a look. Now that we've had this problem, I'll see if it works on this one, where I'll add in my layover to show how things are, and it may or may not be reading correctly, but we'll see. Yeah, reading it correctly. We're actually up in here, closer to the bottom of this. So we'll, is what it is. Maybe if I change this, maybe I do this on a 6-month basis. Actually, it worked out. So I think I just had the reading wrong. I had it to where I was looking at weeks instead of days. So look, we're back up in here, right where I was just showing, where we've got some support. This will be a line of resistance. Whether it retains that position or not, we'll find out. But look, it bounced off it. This had been laid out for a long period of time. I've laid this out, and we can see these price action coming off it. Let's see how it was this particular spot. I'm going to try and zoom in for you. Was a ceiling. Look, we bounced off it, but news came and got us above it. Now we're hitting this other ceiling. So we're crawling slowly. We have a long ways, though, to where we're going to be our ultimate ceiling. So we have a long ways to crawl and a lot of different moving averages, a lot of different ceilings to get through. So for right now, I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty heavy barrier. We've seen that right here. It's been a pretty significant barrier in the past. So it could be one barrier here, peeled off of it, went down, that we may want to pull some lock triggers. That might be our best move. But appreciate you guys, and we'll see how the future comes with us adapting to this organization and how our team becomes better for you. Appreciate you.